Assalamu alaikum class. The topic we will learn in this video is fraction. So fraction is a number that represents part of a whole or part of a group. So here you can see some examples of fractions like 1 by 2, 5 by 8, 2 by 11, 3 by 4. These are all examples of fractions. You can see that in fraction we have a term bar. This line is named as the bar, and the number or the term above this line is named as the numerator, and the number below this line is named as the denominator. So every fraction has two basic parts, numerator and denominator. So now we will discuss that how geometrically define the fraction. That 1 by 2 means, as we are saying that the fraction is represents the part of a whole or part of a group. So if we are having a fraction 1 by 2, it means we are saying that we have total two parts and we are taking only one out of them. For example, here you can see that we are having two parts and we are taking or coloring one of the two parts. Then we have the fraction 5 by 8. So 5 by 8 means we have total 8 parts and we are taking the 5, or we are considering the 5 parts. So here you can see that we have total 8 parts and 5 are colored over here. Then we have fraction 3 by 4. It means that we are having 4 total parts and we are taking 3 parts out of it. So this fraction is representing 3 by 4. So this is how we say that fraction represents the part of a whole or part of a group. So denominator normally represents the total number of parts, and the numerator represents the number of parts we are taking at one time. The next one is about equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions are the same fractions or the two fractions that represents the same number. So how we can define equivalent fractions? The two fractions that represents the same number, like 2 by 4, 1 by 2, 3 by 6. Although these are three different fractions, but geometrically these represents the same relationship. Like if we say 2 out of 4, it means total 4 parts and we are taking 2 parts of it, so exactly half. Then we have the fraction 1 by 2. It means total 2 parts and we are taking one part of it, that is again exactly half of what we are the total part is. Then 3 by 6 means total 6 parts and we are taking 3 parts out of it. Again you can see that we are having exactly half of the total. So this is how we can say that these are the equivalent fractions that represents the same number or the same relation. Mathematically, how the equivalent fractions can be find out. So we can divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number, as well as we can multiply the same number with the numerator and the denominator, and the resultant fraction will be equivalent. For example, if I have the fraction 2 by 4, I can divide the numerator as well as the denominator by 2 and I will get 1 by 2. So these are the two equivalent fractions. Similarly, I can multiply the fraction numerator and denominator with the same number. For example, if I multiply it with 3, I will get 3 by 6. So 3 by 6, 1 by 2 are equivalent fractions. Similarly, 2 by 4 and 1 by 2 are equivalent fractions as well. The next one is simplified form of a fraction. A simplified form of a fraction is the one in which the numerator and denominator has no common factor other than 1. For example, 8 by 12 is a fraction, but this is not in the simplified form because you can see that the common factor or the highest common factor of 8 and 12 is 4. So we will divide the numerator and denominator by 4 to get the simplified form of the fraction, which is 2 by 3. Now you can see that the numerator and denominator have no common factor other than 1. So this is the most simplified form of the given fraction. There are two methods to find out the simplified form of the fraction. The first one is that find out the highest common factor, or the GCF or HCF, of numerator and denominator, and then divide the numerator and denominator with that number. Or we can simply simplify it term by term or step by step. That for example, if we have 8 by 12, rather than to divide it by 4, we can solve it, or we can divide it by 2. 2 4s are 8, 2 6 are 12. Now you can see that again we can divide numerator and denominator by 2. So 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6, and 2 by 3 is the simplified form of the given fraction. Next fraction is 12 by 32. Again you can see that the common factor between 12 and 32 is 4. So we can divide the numerator as well as the denominator by 4 to get the simplified form of the fraction, which is 3 by 8. The next term we are going to learn about is least common denominator. So least common denominator is basically the LCM of the denominators. And how we can find out the least common denominator? Simply take the LCM of all the denominators. For example, if we have the fractions 1 by 2, 5 by 8 and 1 by 3, so the denominators are 2, 8 and 3 respectively. So we will take the LCM of these three numbers and we get the resultant 24. In this case, it means the least common denominator is 24 for these fractions. Now we will discuss that why least common denominator is helpful or useful, in what way. So let's suppose we have the fractions 1 by 2, 5 by 8 and 1 by 3, and the least common denominator is 24 over here. So the least common denominator helps you out to convert the given fractions with this equal denominators, that if we use the least common denominator we can find out the equivalent form of these fractions in the way that they have all the three fractions at the same denominator. So once we have the same denominators of the all the fractions, we can do so many things, that we can arrange the numbers in increasing order or in increasing order just with the help of the relation of the numerators. And then we can add or subtract the fractions as well, as we normally do in the LCM. The basic work is that we have to make the denominator same, and then if we are adding the two fractions, we will simply add the numerator, and for subtraction we will simply subtract the numerators. So how we can find out the equivalent form of the fraction such that all the fractions have equal denominator? So the LCM is 24 in this case, so we will multiply and divide each fraction with 24. So here you can see 24 by 24, again multiply and divide 24, again multiply and divide 24 with all the three fractions. So here you can see this 2 and 24 will be cancelled out to get 12 by 24. You are not going to simplify it further because you will get the same answer again, but we have to make the fraction same, so we will not cut out this one, but we can simplify the other terms. So similarly this 24 will remain in the denominator, and we will cancel out the other terms. 8 3 is a 24 and 15 by 24. Similarly here we get 8 by 24. So this is going to be the equivalent form of the given fractions with equal denominators. Now if you want to arrange these fractions in increasing order, we can simply arrange these fractions with the help of numerator. So 8 is the smallest number, so we will start with 8 by 24, then 12 by 24, and then 15 by 24, and we will convert these fractions into the simplified form that are 1 by 3, 1 by 2 and 5 by 8 respectively. There are two basic types of fractions, proper fractions and improper fractions, on the basis of the relation between the numerator and denominator. So the fractions up till now we have discussed all were proper fractions, because proper fraction means in which the fractions in which the numerator is less than the denominator. And why these are proper fractions? Because when we say 1 by 2, you can see that numerator is less than the denominator, so obviously the total parts or the total number of objects must be greater than the numbers we are taking at one time. So 1 by 2 means total parts are 2 and we are taking 1 at one time. Then 3 by 4 means the total is 4 and we are taking 3 out of these. So proper fractions are the fractions in which numerator is less than the denominator. But what happened if numerator is greater than the denominator? For example, if we have 8 by 7, it means that total 7 parts, but I cannot take 8 out of it because we have total 7 parts. So we cannot take we cannot color 8 parts at once. Then similarly, if we have 12 by 5, then total 5 parts are there and I cannot make it and it is not possible for us to color or to consider 12 parts out of total 5 parts. So these such fractions are named as improper fractions. Improper fractions always converted to the mixed numbers, because there is the form mixed number are the numbers that are greater than 1 containing a whole number as well as some fractional part. So here you can see that if we are having a fraction 8 by 7, we can divide it in the form 7 by 1 by 7, and here is the remainder 1. So I can write this improper fraction into the mixed number form 1 whole 1 by 7. The quotient will be your whole number, and then the remainder over the divisor will represent the fraction. Similarly, if we have have 12 by 5, so it means we are going to divide it by 5. So 5 2s are 10, the remainder is 2. So the fraction is going to be, or the mixed number is going to be 2 whole 2 by 5. So quotient will appear in the as a whole number, remainder will be the numerator, and the denominator will be the divisor. So 12 by 5 has the equivalent form of 2 whole 2 by 5. Now you can see that in this mixed number we are taking total 2 and then 2 parts out of 5 parts. So this is how we can convert a mixed number, or we can convert an improper fraction into the mixed number. Similarly, for 8 by 5, we have 1 whole 3 by 5. We can also convert decimals into the whole, mixed numbers. For example, if we have the decimal 26.4, I can write it down as 264 by 10, and when I'm going to divide it, I'm going to have 26 as a quotient. So 26 whole 4 by 10, or 4 by 10 could be further simplified with 2 by 5. So 26 whole 2 by 5 is the answer for it. If we have 26.4, there is another way to convert the decimal into the mixed number. Like 26.4 means 26 is exactly the total amount or the whole amount, and then we have some smaller portion which is represented with 0.4. So we will take 26 as it is, and then we can write this 0.4 as 4 by 10. So this is going to be 26 whole 2 by 5. So either you can solve it completely, or you can use the concept that 26 is representing the whole number and this decimal part is representing the smaller or the fractional part that could be written in the fraction form further. The next topic is about the estimation, as we have discussed it earlier for the whole numbers and decimals, that how we can estimate a given operation. And we have discussed that in the case of estimation, we round off the numbers first and then we will perform the operation, because estimation means we are going to find out the nearest value, or we are going to have a guess value of the given expression. So in the case of mixed numbers, how we can estimate the different sum and differences. Before, so as we have discussed that for estimate any operation, we have to round off the number first to make our calculations easy. So at first we will discuss that how we can round off the mixed numbers. So we know that in the case of decimals, we compare the number with the help of 5. For example, if we have 26.57 and we have to round off this up to first decimal position, so I will check out the number on the right hand side. If this number is greater than 5 or equal to 5, I will add 1 in the digit, and if this number is less than 5, this will remain the same. So 0.5 is equal to 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is the basic fraction in this case. So here you can see that if the fraction is greater than 1 by 2 or equal to 1 by 2, we will add 1 in the whole number, and if the fraction is less than 1 by 2, there will be no change in the numbers. For example, if I have 1 whole 1 by 2 plus 3 whole 1 by 4 and we have to estimate the sum, so what we are going to do, as the fraction part is 1 by 2 in this case, so this will be round off to 1 plus 1 2. Then we have 3 whole 1 by 4, so we will check this 1 by 4 to be the relation with 1 by 2, that either this is less than 1 by 2 or greater than 1 by 2. So for 1 by 4 and 1 by 2, as we know that when I multiply it with 2, I will get 2 by 4. Multiply and divide numerator, and or you can see that we are multiplying the number 2 with the numerator and the denominator to get 2 by 4. Now as the two fractions have the same denominator, so I can compare these fractions on the basis of numerator. As 1 is less than 2, that's why 1 by 4 is less than 2 by 4. So if 1 by 4 is less than 2 by 4, the whole number will remain the same, so we will get 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. There is another way to check out the relation between the two fractions, that either we can make the denominators equal and then we can compare on the basis of numerators, or we can convert the given fraction into the decimal and then we can compare the two fractions. For example, we can convert 1 by 4 in the form in the decimal form 0.25. You can use calculator for this, or you can divide it completely. For example, for 1 out of 4 means we are going to divide 1 by 4, so I will put decimal point to get 0. 4 2 is 8, 2 is the remainder, again I will put 0, 2 4 5 is 20, so 0.25. Otherwise you can use the calculator for it. Now 0.25 is less than 0.5, that's why 1 by 4 is less than 1 by 2, and this 3 will remain the same, and 2 plus 3 will be equal to 5. This is how we can estimate any sum or difference of mixed numbers. Next we have unit fractions. Unit fractions are the fractions with numerator 1. So 1 by 2, 1 by 10, 1 by 7. These are all examples of unit fractions. The next term is about the reciprocal. So reciprocal of a number is a number such that their product is 1. So the reciprocal of a number is a number such that the product of reciprocal and the number is going to be 1. For example, if we have the fraction 1 by 2, the reciprocal should be 2 by 1, so that when I multiply the two, these two now terms will be cancelled out and I will get 1 as an answer. So in the case of fractions, how we can find out the reciprocal? Simply interchange the numerator and denominator. So if we have the fraction 5 by 7, its reciprocal is 7 by 5, because when I multiply these two numbers I will get 1 as an answer. So in the case of fractions, to get the reciprocal, simply interchange the positions of numerator and denominator. The next is about the inverse operations. We all know that inverse operation means the two operations that undo each other. So the multiplication and division are inverse operations. Similarly, addition and subtraction are also inverse operations or opposite to each other. Now there are some problems related to the fractions. So here is the problem 1. Change 19 by 5 to a mixed number. Simply we will divide it. 19 by 5, 5 3 is a 15, remainder is 4, so I can write the mixed number to be 3 whole 4 by 5. Then we have question number 2. Change 14 whole 1 by 2 to an improper fraction. So simply I will multiply these two, because the whole number was representing the quotient. So how we can convert a mixed number into the fraction? We will multiply the denominator with the quotient. So 2 into 14 is 28, and then we will add the remainder. So 29 by 2 will be the improper fraction for it. So this is how we can convert a mixed number into the improper fraction. Multiply the denominator with the whole number and then add the numerator, which was basically the remainder. So we will get 29 by 2 in this case. Then we have question number 3. Can a proper fraction be changed to a mixed number? Then obviously a proper fraction, we cannot change a proper fraction into the mixed number. For example, if we have a proper fraction 1 by 2, then when I'm going to divide 1 with 2, I will have a decimal. I cannot have a whole number in the quotient. That's why proper fractions cannot be converted to the mixed numbers. Only improper fractions are could be converted into the mixed form or the mixed number. Then we have question number 4, in which we have to subtract the two mixed numbers, 14 whole 1 by 2 and 9 whole 2 by 3. At first we will find out the fractions for these. So 2 into 14 is 28, 28 plus 1 is 29, so 29 by 2, and this is going to be 3 9, so 27 plus 2, 29 by 3. And how we can find out the LCM? We can simply find out the least common denominator of the denominators or of the two fractions, that is 2 and 3, and its LCM is going to be 6. So I will multiply 6 with the numerator as well as with the denominator for the two fractions, and I will get 3 into 29 over 6 minus 2 into 29 over 6. Once you have the same denominators, you can simply perform the operations for numerators, and denominator will be the same. So I will get 29 by 6 as an answer, which is not a proper fraction. It means we can convert this proper fraction into the mixed number, which is 4 whole 4 by 6. Here we have question number 5. 9 inches is what part of a foot? But before solving this question, let's revise the unit method. For example, if we have total 10 books of rupees 1000, then one book will cost rupees 100. And how we can find out this? We can simply divide the number or the total amount by 10. So this is named as unit method, that if we are moving towards 1 from any other number, we are going to perform division. Similarly, if one book is of rupees 50, then I will pay 100 rupees for the two books, because 50 plus 50 is 100. So this is how we can convert or we can move from 1 to any other number, and for this we have to multiply, or we have to perform the operation of multiplication. So 9 inches is what part of a foot? We know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, so we have to evaluate it for 9 inches. So at first we will solve it for 1, and then we will evaluate it for 9. So how we can find out the value of 1 inch? Simply I am going to, as we have discussed, that to move from any number to 1, we have to perform division. So if I am moving from 12 to 1, so what we have to do, we simply have to divide 12 over here. So 1 by 12 will be the answer, but this is the value for 1 inch. We have to evaluate for 9 inch, so we will multiply it with 9. So I will get 9 by 12, that is 3 by 4 feet. Then we have question number 6. A man earned 3 by 8 of our business and sold 2 by 3 of his share. What part of the entire business did he sell? So a man earned 3 by 8 of a business and he sold 2 by 3 of his share. Of means we have to multiply the numbers, and his share is 2 by is his 3 by 8. So we will multiply the two fractions and I will get the answer 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 of the business. So he sold 1 by 4 of the entire business. Next, we have question number 7 that you are going to attempt by yourself. On the same pattern, we have solved question number 5. Then question number 8, you have to solve question number 8 by your own, on the similar lines as we are going to solve the question number 11, which is saying that 3 by 4 is what fractional part of 1 whole 1 by 8. So how we can convert this statement into the mathematical equation 3 by 4 as it is? For is, we will use the operation is equal to what fractional part means the variable x, of means multiply 1 whole 1 by 8, so x into 1 whole 1 by 8. At first we will find out the mixed number, which is going to be 9 by 8 in this case, and for the value of x we will simply multiply 8 over here and divide it by 9, and x will be equal to 2 by 3 in this case. Next, we have question number 9. A strip of metal 7 whole 1 by 8 inches long is to be divided into 6 equal parts. How many inches in the length of each part? This question is quite simple. We are given with the total length and we have to cut down it into 6 equal parts. So simply we will divide it by 6. So the total length is 7 whole 1 by 8 inches. At first we will find out LCM, which is going to be 57. We will find out the mixed number. 8 7 is 56. 56 plus 1 is 57. So total length is 57 over 8. As we have to find out the length of each part, and this total length is to be divided into 6 equal parts. So here you can see that we can divide this number by 6, and this division can be converted into the product with the sign 1 over 6 over here. So we will cancel out the two terms, and 19 by 16 is the final answer.